Hello, everybody. How we doing? Welcome to episode 10? 10.
So?
Episode 10. Finally, episode 10, that is. Been a lot going on. That's some nasty, nasty weather here lately. So everybody's been off and trying to deal with the ice and the snow, fog, rain, tornadoes, and even earthquakes.
They were small because I didn't feel them.
Yeah.
But they were here.
They were here. They were not very big earthquakes, like 3.5s, 1.0s. But they were here. In northern Arkansas. Earthquakes. We had earthquakes over to the northeast of us, or just east of us. We had tornadoes just about 2-3 hours to the south of us because of severe weather. We had 5 to 8 inches of snow last week in our area. Then we had ice storm to the southwest of us. We got a shade of ice, a little bit, about 5-6 hours of it, almost 8 hours of icing.
The restaurant I work at got flooded.
Yeah, the restaurant got there's a little bit some flooding, heavy
The drain
rain.
pipes were all messed up. We had to fix the drain pipes before we could work.
Yeah, and then we had a dense fog. Sorry, we had dense
Someone
fog to
ran
deal
off
with.
the road, probably. Because I saw an ambulance and a cop car. So,
And we got more rain today, this afternoon.
and a fire truck.
And I think after this bout of rain, we're finally going to clear up a little bit and finally see the sun after about 10 days. We haven't seen the sun in about 10 days here. Might see the sun for a change.
I feel like I'm living in Antarctica.
I know, right? That's just been nuts. We've
Where's
had
the sun at?
there are places to see mostly snow or mostly rain. We've seen just about all of it in one week. 1 week, mind you. From tornadoes to snow to ice to fog to floods.
2 idiots on tires.
And the small, tiny ass earthquakes. Just thank God we ain't got a freaking volcano somewhere around so it don't erupt.
Kilometers.
I thought you said enough weather for. We need to see the sun for a while. Let it kind of calm down a few minutes, a few days. It is. It's going to calm down for a few days, I think, and it's going to pick back up again with some more rain. It's going to be warmer this time around, in the 50s. I think most of it's just going to be rain, but I think they said we have one more bout of possible winter weather, late February, early March. But yeah, it's been a wild ride the past 10 days up in here. But anyway, back to the story. As I said, we got my teenage years. I got my driver's license. And I got Greg and got Marcia, Amy, and Sherry. Sometimes Chad and Stacy would come by for a visit. Della would join the crew. We go hang out, go to the malls and stuff. Hang out at Grandma's, Thanksgiving, little Christmas parties and stuff. But most of my time I spent camping on the weekends. Going to school during the week and camping on the weekends. We discussed that. And on one of our trips down to Cox Creek, we met this kid. Me, Greg, and Marcia were down there, and we met this kid named Brad. And I think I covered it last time, but I'm not sure if I'm going to cover it again because it's a funny story. But his name was Brad, and he had a little brother. I forgot the little brother's name. But you'll see why I remember Brad so much because the story I'm fixing to tell you.
Just call him the little one.
Well, we hung out. We went fishing and walking and kind of telling stories and telling jokes and just causing mischief. Well, we left, and one time, a few weeks later, we went back down to Cox Creek. And me and Marcia and Greg were up on the hill by a picnic table under a pavilion. We were sitting there, and we saw this little kid and his brother walking along the shore with his fishing pole. I said, hey, that looks like Brad. And Marcia turned over and looked over his shoulder and said, yeah, that's Brad. And so We didn't call him over there at first. We wanted to aggravate him. And this is how we aggravated him. We're sitting there, Marcia's facing this way, Greg's on my side here. And I said, Brad! And we both looked back down and looked, and he's gonna they looked like he was doing something. Brad stops. Looks around, trying to figure out what the sound came from. And he saw that no one called his name that he didn't recognize, so he turned around and started walking again. Brad! He stopped and looked around, and what the heck is... Even his brother, he had his brother gone. His brother said, Brad, where's that going? He was even looking at the damn water trying to find out what the mermaids are out talking to him or some shit, you know?
Cryptids, here you are.
Look up the sky. It's like, where's the sound at? And someone's calling my name, I know they are. And he started to take off again. One more time. I said, Brad! We went back down. He looked up at us, but he couldn't tell it was us or not because we was busy doing our own. That kind of caught him out of the corner of my eye. Marcia and Greg, Greg was like this right here trying to hide his Celeste, you know. Marcia had her back toward him, laughing like this, and just had her head down so he couldn't tell who he were. He started walking back toward his campsite and looked and see who called it. No one's over there calling Brad. And he started to walk back. I said, Brad! Oh, here! I waved at him finally. He's like, oh, there you are, there you are. And of course, Marcia and Greg just burst out laughing. He's like, what the heck you guys? I didn't know who that was. I was even looking at the sky, looking at the lake, looking at the trees. He could not figure out who it was.
Is it the birds?
Is it the birds? He didn't know who it was. But yeah, we met him again. This is the last time we saw him, though. But, yeah, we spent the afternoon where everybody he forgot about trying to go fishing. We just kind of hung out there and just kind of shoot the breeze for a little bit.
I wonder how he's doing these days.
I don't know. That's over 30-something years ago. I'm 54 now, fixed to be 55. And I was 16, 17.
You remember his full name?
No, I just know Brad because of that incident. Brad. But
like Brad Williams or something.
Yeah, I don't know if he remembers the story or not. But I'm pretty sure Marcia remembers the story. If I went to talk to her about it, I'm sure she remembers the story.
She probably remembers his full name.
No, she might do. She might do. But I just know about Brad. Then I got so caught up in camping a lot that I kind of strayed away from ponies for a little bit, for a few months, a few days, a few weeks. However long it was, I don't remember. Okay, I know it was a while that they didn't write for a while, so I kind of got away from it.
Until Bigfoot came back.
Well, we spent a lot of time walking around the malls, the Park Plaza, University, McCain. McCain Mall was fun. Spencer's was fun to go into because it was Spencer's was an interesting store. Spencer's, if you wanted an adult toy, Spencer was the place for you to go. They even had them on the counter, little small dildos about this big.
For your like erasers or something?
Eraser head, yeah. They had sex toys, but they had other cool stuff too. I got a dragon chess set from a Spencer store one time that came on. It was a dragon chess set, but they had a lot of sexual innuendo items from Spencer's.
So they were having fun?
Huh?
They were having fun.
Well, it was an interesting store. Kids were not allowed in there. Yeah, because if the kids were to go in there, they would see stuff they were not supposed to see, like the big old giant dildo.
That dragon?
You're naughty elf. But anyway, enough of Spencer's.
You know someone was able to fit that inside of them one time?
Huh?
Someone was able to fit that inside of one time?
Oh, we're not talking about that.
They had to go to the hospital afterwards.
Yeah.
But they did it.
People do some strange things. They sure do. They do some weird stuff.
Just imagine, doctor, what the hell happened to your guts?
Anyway, we after a while, you know, I figured I need to write another poem. I need to get back to the poem writing, the poetry. So I wrote this poem, not down, but not out. Try to get back into the rhythm of writing poetry again, because you know, I was actually having fun. And when usually when you're having a good time and you're enjoying life a little bit, you don't need an escape mechanism. And I was having a good time, but there were still some times where I
Wanted to hit a tree.
wanted to hit a tree, and
That poetry.
then sometimes, yeah, yeah, I got a funny story about that. Real quick. Before I tell you the poem, I got a funny story about trees. Then I
decapitated by accident.
Then I'll read the poem. Not down but not out. But that's not what inspired this poem. Not down but not out. Then what inspired the poem was me trying to get back to my roots, my creativity. But Greg had some cousins from his mom's side, Glenn, Charlie, and Donald. Those were names. And we were out just walking around one day, and they asked me if I've ever tackled a pine tree. What's tackling the pine tree? How you tackle a pine tree? Well, what you do, there's about 6 of us, hefty boys. And we all 6 climbed that tree. We got a big, fat pine tree, a little small pine tree, about this big around. Everybody climbed to the top of it, and then we pull the top of the pine tree over. Everybody would drop off except one person. And that one person would ride the pine tree back up. We climbed to the top of the pine tree, pull the top of the pine tree over, get this far from the ground, about 6 to 10 feet from the ground. Everybody would drop off, and then one person would ride it back up.
And hopefully not fly off into space.
Not fly off into space. Yee! You know.
Charlie, no!
But anyway, I got the notion one time to try to tackle one by myself. I thought I was badass. I was going to tackle this son-of-a-bitch and pine tree all by my little lonesome. Of course, the boys were down the street there walking towards me. I jumped down and got some distance from them. I climbed up the pine tree. They were watching. And all of a sudden I got to the top of this pine tree. And it sounded like Rice Krispies. Snap, crackle, and then pop. And down I went. And I could hear the distance at the same time I was falling. No, stop. Oh my God, no. Just screaming and hollering. And then a thump as I hit the ground. Fortunately, I missed the concrete by that much. I landed in a dry mud hole. And I stood up holding my trophy.
The head of the tree.
It was a 9-foot piece of the pine tree that broke off the top of it. And, I still got it. And then the screams and hollers turned. Yeah, heard the cheers.
It's a boy thing.
It was a boy thing. But I didn't climb another pine tree, or I didn't try to tackle another pine tree again. That was my last effort trying to tackle a pine tree.
It tried to kill you.
Because it tried to kill me. But yeah, fortunately I missed the concrete. If I didn't hit the concrete, I'd probably have to go into the hospital. Unfortunately,
well, he has a hard head, so he probably might have cracked the
I
concrete.
probably would have cracked the concrete. But fortunately, I did miss the concrete and hit a dry mud hole. And I put a pretty good ditching in the mud hole too.
I remember
The mud hole was like this. After I was done, it was like this. It was pretty solid. But I was about 20 feet up in the air.
Uh-huh.
And that thing snapped on me. I felt
remember
20
Isaac,
feet. Bam.
I remember Isaac tried to jump down from a tree, and he got widgeted by the tree because there was apparently a nail in the tree that he didn't see.
Yeah.
And he just kind of he hung off the ground about that far.
Did
His feet were that far from the ground.
he?
Just
Well, Marsha one time fell out of a tree, and you ever heard the old story? You're lucky. You're so ugly. You're lucky he'd ever limb coming down the tree out of the ugly tree. Well, Marsha wasn't ugly. She was a very pretty lady. But yeah, well, she fell out of a tree and she hit every branch coming out of the tree. Flump, 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 shoom, slung her around, spun her upside down, spun her around, and bam on the ground.
Was that the ugly tree?
That wasn't the ugly tree. That was the jealous tree. I think that's what it was. But yeah,
Aphrodite.
Yeah, the Aphrodite tree. She did. She was jealous of. I think she was jealous of Marcia and threw her out of the tree. But yeah, I think she just ended up with a bunch of bruises and stuff. But
if you don't know Greek history, Aphrodite was a very jealous goddess.
Yeah, yeah. But we've had some incidents with the trees. And like I said, I even got my nickname from a tree, Monkey, from out climbing to the top of the tree. My sister couldn't get to me. Get down there, you darn monkey! And yeah, I used to love climbing trees. Anyway, let's get back to the poem here. This is just me trying to get back to my creativity, trying to get back to my roots, back to what I started on for. Knocked down, but not out. 18, the big number. Up and down goes my life, a bad day, then good day. Starting genre, a build-up. For my complex nature, I find myself in an odd battle. I get knocked down, the failure to knock me out has got to be man's attention. I will someday find a way to be a triumphant warrior. I will continue to fight. So if you knock me down, ensure that I stay down. For like a springboard, I'll bounce back up. That's not down, but not out. Now this poem here, which we're coming upon, is a very interesting poem. Very thought-provoking. And if anybody's ever gone for long walks or get stuck in a train of thought, gone on long rides, imagine themselves in a particular area, a particular atmosphere, you may have kind of envisioned yourself or coming across yourself at some point in time, like in another dimension or something. That's how this poem transpired. I was walking, and I came across this. I was walking in the woods, as I always am. And I had my headphones on, listening to my music. And I was just chugging along the way. Now it comes to this open field. And there's some hay bales out in the middle of the field. And I would come across this field, and I would go to the hay bales, and I would envision a stranger sitting on that bale of hay. And that stranger was singing. And curious, I would walk up because he was singing. He wouldn't even pay attention to what was around him. He was just singing. And I would walk up and try to get a closer ear as to what he's singing. And as I got closer, I noticed something peculiar. The stranger was me. And he was singing a song, and the song was a fight song. A song about breaking through barriers, about
Overcoming
obstacles, surviving, struggling, but yet persevering. And the meaning behind the song that was sung, that I heard sung, was life will not beat you. Life cannot beat you unless you let it beat you.
You have to actually help it for it to beat you.
Yeah. You need to be been trying to find better ways to fight depression. Come up with fantastical places to go to. And after hearing the song, I felt better as a person. And so I curated the poem, A Fighter's Song. Of course, there was nobody on the hell on the bale of hay. It was just my imagination,
or a vision, or whatever it may be.
Whatever it may be. Just kind of an idea of what it would be like to come across yourself and that person saying, hey, don't let life beat you down. Don't let life get the best of you. You keep trucking, you keep fighting, you keep going forward, and eventually life's going to give you something nice. And that's what this song's about. That's what this poem's about. So I'm going to read to you The Fighter's Song. I was walking through the woods one day when I came across an open field and a stranger on a bale of hay. He was loudly singing. My ears began ringing. The music was vaguely familiar because I commonly sing something similar. I somehow knew it wouldn't take long to figure out this enjoyable song. The stranger I saw was me. I was stunned, yet totally glee. I knew then, before long, that this was the fighter's song. It's a reflection on oneself. You got to know that no matter what life, like I said, no matter what life throws at you, you gotta keep trucking. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta keep moving forward. I still get mad. I still get angry. Still get frustrated. But as I said a few episodes before, I started trying to find better ways than dwell upon the angry moments and try to find better ways to deal with some of the crap that was going through. But I was still basically lonely, and I was still basically by myself. I hadn't really had a true girlfriend up to this point. I had one I dated in Happy Acres. 3 months we were together. We wouldn't really like we're dating. We just made out a few times, and that was basically just about it.
I mean, you tried to do more, but you always had to.
Yeah, I tried to do more, but she was the modest one. She wouldn't allow me to do anything but kiss her around the top of the chest and around her neck. But anyway, there were others there that were not so modest that wanted to go all the way, but I was too shy to pursue.
That or the siblings kept interrupting.
And the kids kept interrupting. Kids had tried to they were a pest. They were a freaking pest.
They loved you.
I guess, but they were a freaking pest. They were Little piss buckets.
Let me get some, damn it.
They're like a bunch of gnats flying around your head. You're trying to do something, and then you're just right here. Get the hell away from me. Shoo. But anyway, I loved all of them. They were fun. It was fun. And, of course, not down but not out. Just sort of the same thing as mean days here. A reflection from the past. Thinking back to all I've been through. Upon states an urgency to move forward and try to put it all behind me. I'm trying to. Everybody says you can't dwell on the past. You can't go and live in the past. You can't live that way. That's true to an extent, but still,
You should always remember the past.
you always remember it. You never forget. You never forget how you were treated, how you were done. But you can try to move forward. You can try to move forward.
You use it as a lesson.
Use it as a lesson.
Instead of dwelling on it as a means to depress yourself, use it as a lesson.
Exactly. Well, here's the main days. It's pretty much the same as not down but not out. Trying to get back to my creativity. Sitting quietly. No words mentioned. Having flashbacks of my life. A beating from a babysitter. Family troubles. And much violence. My eyes tried to water a little, but I stopped them and brushed them aside. Those were the main days and ugly days. I say to myself, this is now. All right. Another funny story about me, Greg, and Marcia. We were at Cox Creek, and usually we would go out in the boat, Uncle Pancho's boat, and we would go trolling down the river. We'd throw our little jigs out in the water and let them sit there for a little bit, and whap, little crappie catches on it. We'd reel a little son of a gun in, net him, put him in, and have fish for dinner. Well, me, Greg, and Marcia decided to take the boat out one day. And we got to the middle of the lake, and we suddenly remembered something.
What?
We forgot to charge the motor.
You at least have paddles?
Yeah, we had paddles. We forgot to charge the motor. So we were sitting out there, and we found a little wooded area, where the woods kind of poke out of the water. That's where the crappie would lay out in. We'd go out there and we'd jig fish and catch a few. Then we started to head back, and lo and behold, the motor wouldn't start. So me and Greg grabbed the pedals. Marshall was sitting in the middle, by the way. And I grabbed the pedals. Greg was in the back, and I was in the front. And we started pedaling back to the shore. It took 15, 20 minutes to get back to the shore. But as we, right before we got to the shore, we decided to embarrass the shit out of Marcia.
What did you do?
We got about 20 feet from the shoreline. And I said, Greg. He said, what? I said, check this out. Put your pedals to one side. Now pedal. And we started pedaling. And as we pedaled, usually when you pedal on both sides of the boat, right? That keeps the boat straight. But we put both pedals on one side of the boat, what's it going to do?
Go in circles.
That's what we did. We put the pedals on both sides to one side of the boat, and we made big giant. And campers watching. I know they were. They were all watching this. You could tell. We didn't look. We were too busy having fun. But you can tell they were out there looking, and everybody was laughing. And Marcia saw, and Marcia ducked down into the boat. She was embarrassed as hell. She said, "Oh, come on, guys, really?" And she did this shit. They started hiding her head.
Circle.
And we made big old giant circles in the water. And we did it several times. We just make big old giant donuts in the lake. That's
a boy thing.
That's a boy thing. It is. Yeah, and Marcia knew. She knew as soon as I said, "Greg, check this out." She knew some shit was up. And she knew.
Oh, not again.
She says, "No, come on, guys, let's get to the shore. Let's get to the bank." I said, not yet.
We'll have our fun first.
Let's have our fun first. And so yeah, and then she couldn't jump out because she had a nice clothes on. She didn't have her swimsuit or bathing suit on or anything, so she couldn't jump out of the boat. So she had to sit there in the middle of the boat and be embarrassed. Me and Greg made big giant donuts in the lake. And that's the inspiration for this next poem. Donuts on a lake. And her face turned red too. I mean, her face was red. She was
Her friends are idiots.
Yeah. She was ducked down as far as she could to the boat to hide from us. Couldn't get away from because every time she'd pop up, she'd see campers all pointing. What the hell are they doing? What? I didn't punch on Daddy and Grandma and Grandpa was on the bank there. What are y'all doing? Get your butts in here. I said, we're not done. And finally we finished. And we let the boat settle down a little bit. And then we put the pedals back to each side of the boat. We pedaled and we finished our trip to the shoreline. And then we put the boat up. And of course, Marcia ran. And she got out of the boat as quick as she could. Me and Greg.
Save me.
Me and Greg high-fived each other, laughing our asses off. Well, this is what inspired the poem. Donuts on a lake. We went out in a boat to fish. We were doing okay, casting out here and there, trolling along the way. But then suddenly, putter, spit, spitter, titter, splat. The troll motor had just died. We thought about giving it a funeral, but decided we'd try to revive it later. So we got the pedals and paddled around. Forgot about fishing. To heck with that. We're hooting and hollering, making wisecracks. The spectators watching, we didn't care. Took the pedals to one side and did donuts on a lake.
So you were even a dork back then.
Yes, I was. Yeah, what you see is what you get. I have been a dork all my freaking life, and I'm damn proud of it. Like, you can't. If you let anger get the better of you, it puts you in a bad spot. It puts you in a bad area. So I tried my best not to let anger get the best, even though I still get pissed off and angry and mad. I try not to let it control who I am, because I'm a humorous guy. I can make people laugh. I can make people smile. I can light up a party if I wanted to.
Or embarrass someone.
Or embarrass somebody if I wanted to, like Mom. But and I chose to do that instead. I chose to use my comical side to enjoy life as much as I possibly could. Because I didn't want to let the anger and the animosity consume me. That's why I never drank, I never smoked, I never did drugs, I never gone out to raucous parties and concerts to get myself into trouble and cause mischief and cause pain and misery. So I use humor. Humor and creativity is what I use to get through the hard times, the rough. I still use them today. Even today, I'm having struggles and issues, but I still use comic relief to get through, and deal with the hasty situations and the aggravation and anger and the animosity. But I guess we'll want to wrap that up with that poem there. That's a good spot to wrap it up with. And hope you enjoy episode 10.
Stay warm.
Stay warm out there. Hopefully I think the weather's going to try to get turned around here a little bit and start straightening out a little bit, because it's been kind of rugged and rough Wrath. Rough. Wrath. What the hell's
Wrath?
Wrath? Shut up.
That's my gamer tag. Wrath.
Wrath? That's your game tag? Wrath? Wrath?
Wrath.
Wrath.
Yeah.
Wrath.
Wrathful.
Wrathful. Wrathful Coma. That's his game tag. Wrathful Coma. So you ever see Wrathful Coma? That's this turd right here.
That's this idiot right here.
Come here, come here.
Hey.
That's his turd bucket right here. That's Wrathful Coma. Xbox S1, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway,
I used to play computer too, but that broke.
yeah.
Over.
We'll see you next time for episode 11. Y'all take care of yourselves and be well.